Chief here, and I have another thought. Today, I was thinking about my company's name and why I named it that. Bad Thoughts Publishing Company. The reason I named it that is because my own thought processes. If you read some of my work, it is pretty cynical, brooding and morose. I just always had that thought process. It's probably the way I grew up, or maybe some people have that natural inclination or that natural vibe in them. That's just how they see the world, and the world, isn't this place that we can go through laissez-faire, like it's like some happy-go-lucky, rainbows and gumdrops and fucking smiles and all the stuff that people relate to happiness, whatever makes people happy, I guess in a positive or good manner. But I also, cause like for example, like when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, like people were lauding her and saying she's this great woman and she's like just this picture perfect person and an example. But I just think like, hey, she's probably said nigger like like at least 10 times in her life. Oh man, that's to say that I always see something behind the curtain. I think there's always a mask that can be pulled off. And sometimes how people present themselves isn't that at all. They're just, putting on a face. And especially in this society, I think it's obvious. It's, especially like when dealing with the politicians and the major corporations. They always have something behind them, and some insidious motives or some insidious or very deleterious actions that they are committing, that the public isn't necessarily aware of, and sometimes we are aware of them and we just don't care, But that also gets me to another point. No, I'll talk about that next time. I wanted to talk about care and how people are so all of a sudden they care about the world and everyone, and I think that's not. I think that's just ridiculous, and people are being facetious. They don't really mean any of it, but that's another video for another day. But I just wanted to say that, like, bad thoughts, and also bad thoughts, you don't want to ruminate on them like I did before. I did have bad thought processes, and I thought negatively about myself often. You can see it in my earlier poetry. Like I like to call it like school shooter poetry. Like how like a depressed school shooter probably writes, not that bad, but I guess I'm trying to allude to that. Like it's kind of like a angsty teenager vibe, very immature, a lot of it. A lot of it's really good though. Like Heavenly Decay, like my epic poem, I think it's brilliant. Like sometimes I read it and I don't even think I'm like, man, did I write this? This is fucking awesome. But you can read it at badthoughtspublishing.com. You can order one, or on Amazon or anywhere, from Someone Sinister. My first work, the book that launched Bad Thoughts Publishing Company, and that was just the first name that. Oh, actually, I got the name too from a Bob Dylan quote. It was one of my favorite, or Bob Dylan lyric. It's like, if my thought dreams could be seen, they'd probably put my head in a guillotine. And I thought about that because my first logo was actually a guillotine, and it was just an allusion to that song because I really love that song a lot. What song is that? Oh, It's Alright Mom, I'm Only Bleeding. But I guess that it just always helped illuminate my thought process. I thought that really was apt to me in the way I think, and I'm still very cynical. And I think that way about events in the world. I guess I'm always looking at the the worst case scenario. What is the worst thing that this person could be, or the government, or the event. And oftentimes, like I'm right about it, But I don't have anything else to say. Bad Thoughts Publishing Company. Don't plan on changing the name. I try to think good thoughts often. But sometimes the bad thoughts can't help but creep in. And not necessarily so much about myself anymore, just mostly about the world and society. Very cynical view, but I think it's easy to have in this world. especially if you're paying attention. And I'm trying to, and I think I do. But anyway, that's my thought of the day. Chief again, and I would like to thank you for listening to my inane pontificating. Please like and subscribe to Bad Thoughts Publishing Company on YouTube. Thank you so much.